Okay, so we are live now. Hello to everyone who's joined in. We'll start at 7 o'clock sharp. Hi, Mona, I can see you here. Mona, I'm not sure why you're not able to join. I'm sending you a request again.
Hi,
Finally.
hi Vidhi. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Mona. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing very well. Thanks a lot. Let's say hi to our viewers. Just close them there. Oh, that's
Hi
your daughter.
everyone.
Is that your daughter in the background? Did I hear her?
No, it's actually 7 o'clock, and my cuckoo clock is just on. You're right on time, exactly at 7. So I'm so sorry about the
Because you're
noise, but
punctual. We know we are right on time.
yes, we are. Hi
Okay.
everyone. All of you guys who are joining us. Hi, good to see you all. Vikram, Rishi, Sanjeevni. Hi everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. And this is the August Women series where every fortnight we bring to light one woman who's making a mark in her own way. And this fortnight, and we're starting 2021 with the amazing Mona Lisa. Um, she wears a lot of hats. She is the creative lead for FM Fever. She's a mom, she's a content creator, she's a blogger. My goodness, she does so many things and she inspires us.
Thank you so much for a really nice introduction. I'm just trying to juggle between too many roles that I play, if I could say that.
Yes,
So,
and thank you for accepting our offer to join us. And
absolutely.
like you said, you juggle so many roles, and let's just come straight to it. This is something that we talked about earlier as well. You juggle so many roles, you're hustling, yet you are one of those people who love the concept of slow life and try to imbibe in their lives. So for a lot of people, they don't understand the difference between hustling and a slow life. Like, how can you be ambitious if you're leading a slow life?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, I mean, if you're somebody who is a multitasker, they would just label you as somebody who's a hustler, right? Who is always running against the time, and you have so many things to do in one day. And for such people, 24 hours in a day is also not enough. So that's exactly what people think when they think about somebody who's a multitasker. Somebody who's doing more than one role or playing more than one role has to be a multitasker, has to juggle between so many things, will be racing against time, will have so many things to achieve in like very little amount of time. But at the same time, it's very important for all of us to slow down, to breathe, to kind of really like what you're doing, instead of just taking it out of your bucket list just because you have to play so many roles. Maybe in a day you have to shoot 3 videos, so you have to shoot 3 videos. In a day you also have to attend to your daughter because she's demanding, she wants so many things to be done. But at the same time, are you not paying importance to what you are as a person, what you want to do? Probably you just want to just take a little time for yourself, sit down, relax, think about what you really want to do in that day, and probably have some me time. So I think slowing down and breathing, just taking some time out from your daily uh, hustling life, if I can say that. That's very important. And that's something I realized. I think 2020 has been a year, this entire pandemic thing, which maybe is a blessing in disguise for so many of us out there, to slow down. We actually did. We could slow down and we could think about most important things in life that we were missing out on. You know, that entire hustle of going to work, coming back from work, and then just cribbing, right?
And
That's
I think another thing that really helped me was like when you slow down, you understand why you're doing something. You know,
right.
the hustle that we are doing in terms of how managing family, the home, the careers, you know, so many things, wearing so many hats. You, there should be some reason behind it. And to invite, to understand, to absorb that reason just propels you to do it in an even better way.
Absolutely. And you're much more productive. I think when you have too many things to do, you just constantly, because you know, you have a to do list. Everybody makes a to do list. And these are things that I need to achieve in a day. And in that entire hustle, you actually forget to just, you know, probably do something as simple as just relax yourself for 2 minutes in a day. And then we all tend to say this, right? I am busy. I'm
Yeah.
so busy. Like everybody in this world is busy. Is there anybody in this world who would say, okay, I'm free. I'm free today. I'm free for the entire day? No one. Because we are in that constant, you know, juggle of doing something. Okay, I have to do this. I have to do this as well. So I think that's the reason why we feel we cannot slow down, but we all can.
I think basically like living, leading the slow life, like we also try and propagate at the August Company, the August
Absolutely.
Life, it's synonymous with leading a slow life. It just means to lead a conscious life where
Yes.
you're aware of your decisions, where you're aware of what you want, what you really need, what you are, why you are, and making decisions which are thoughtful, which are mindful, and could be the smallest of those decisions.
Yes. I would just bring in a couple of examples here. I mean, you know, before 2020 happened, why I'm bringing up 2020? Because it has been a milestone year in everybody's life. And in a way, this year gave us so much to learn about, right? About things that we probably can live our life without. Simplest of things like, you know, on a weekend, going and, you know, just shopping just for the heck of it, right?
Yeah.
But in 2020, since we were not going out, I mean, how many of us really thought going out and shopping or indulging in those so-called, you know, luxuries of life are really important? So that's exactly what I learned. At least I can speak about myself. So I thought, okay, what was I even doing? Do I really need to shop so much?
Yeah.
And I think simplest of things like, you know, things that you really want to do, things you shouldn't do. I mean, you're still okay without doing it. And the entire thought process around less is more, or living a very minimalistic kind of a living, or sustainable living where you are maybe happy with things you already have, or maybe buy things which are really important. I mean, you can't do without. Rather than just spending so much of money and just buying those luxuries and all of that. I mean, those things suddenly seem very shallow. Uh,
Shallow, yeah. And even if we try, I believe that it's important for us to make sure that we reuse them and it's not just a one-time purchase. So
oh my
again,
God. Oh my
thought,
God. This entire thought of how women think I cannot repeat my clothes. I mean, we all really need to come out of that thought because, okay, you can repeat your clothes, you can reuse, you can
you
recycle.
have to. It's your own clothes. You bought them. Why will you not repeat them? I
Exactly.
need to understand.
And the thing is, you can wear them differently. You can wear it in different ways possible, rather than thinking, okay, I am not going to wear it again because it's something that I wore for a special occasion. I cannot wear it again. But it's about using or wearing that same, let's say, a dress in multiple ways possible. That's also another way of looking at it, rather than thinking that, okay, maybe, you know, I don't have enough clothes to wear is something that everybody says. Everyone says that.
And apart from that, like one of the learnings that for me were in terms of food. You
Yes,
know, we were so used to of going out over the weekends, like Friday night or Saturday night just meant that
absolutely.
we have dinner out or Sundays will be, you know, brunch out. And suddenly when you start having so much home cooked food,
Oh
you
my
realize
God.
the importance of the home cooked food and your body starts feeling lighter, you feel start feeling better. And then you know, just go and think back like, why were we even doing it? Do we really need
Exactly.
it?
Exactly. So that self introspection happened for everybody. And then now we started to realize and give importance to, better things of life, which were cooking, maybe a simple meal, cooking just a simple meal, or just baking. Like you just felt like doing it all your life, but then you never, got time. We always used to crib that time nahi hai mere paas. But then you got some time for yourself in the year 2020, and we could probably do something that we always wanted to do, learn something that we always wanted to do. And it's such a beautiful thing, right? Like everybody of us, we could try and learn something new last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. And if you're talking about last year, another thing that made us realize is the need of empathy for one another. All of us, in some way or form, are struggling, are fighting some battle, right? And a lot of, I think it was the hardest on the underprivileged. So that, how can we do something to make sure that, we're able to help them in some way?
I just feel that, people often confuse empathy as being somebody who's very emotional. It's not about of course, you are somebody who understands people's feelings. It's also about understanding their feelings, understanding what they are going through, rather than just being emotional. I mean, of course, everybody is emotional, but it's about, okay, maybe if it's a house help who's coming to your home, and you could help them in any way possible. It could be that, or it could be giving back to the society. It could be anything, like smallest of the things, like going to an orphanage, or probably, doing something for the underprivileged. That's something that we all thought was very important in the year 2020, because many of us lost our jobs. That's when we realized what happens to such people who have lost their daily jobs. Like they used to earn daily wage, right? And what happens to them? So that's exactly, also because that year was so much about teaching us about empathy, teaching us about thinking about the other person needs as well.
Yeah, yeah. So, and if someone has to start the slow living route, like what do you recommend, Mona? Like, how do you start, or what are the some practices that you follow in your life?
I would just say that, take time for yourself first. First, slow down. First, think about what you really want to do, instead of just, because you have a job to do, you have so many roles to play. That's all right. But at the end of the day, you should be happy with what you're doing. So that's very, very important. So, and also, it's never too late. We all also go into that entire pressure that, okay, I'm too late for doing this. Maybe I'm already too old to do this. But that's not true. I mean, age is just a number for everyone, and you're never too late for anything. You can just start whenever, wherever, however you want to do it. And there are so many resources available. All you need to do is just reach out to people, reach out to like-minded people, and get so much of inspiration. Inspiration is everywhere around you. All you need to do is just, you know, just see what you really want to do and just go for it. And I'm
Yeah,
sure there's family backing. Everybody gets that support they need, and just go for it. I mean, that's what I would say. That's something that I can advise, because unless and until you decide what you really want to do, nobody's going to do it for you.
absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And let me, while talking to you, I was just thinking about it. When I go to your Instagram feed, and by the way, all our viewers, if you haven't seen Mona's feed, you're missing something. You must absolutely go
Thank
to
you
her
so much.
Instagram
Thank you
page.
so much.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
now, how do you find beauty in such little things? Like, you have these pictures of, a teacup and a saucer, and such pretty looking pictures. How do you find beauty in such small things?
That's honestly, that's exactly what I enjoy. Smallest of the pleasures in life. So if it's really like a beautiful looking cup or a saucer, that's something that I really like. And I would take plenty of pictures. I would actually, pour my favorite coffee in it and then sip that coffee, and I would enjoy that moment. That's exactly what it is for me, to enjoy in that very moment, or to be happy in that moment. Because see, you need to find joy in whatever you really like. So that's exactly what I do. Like things that I really like, I try to picture, like capture them and put it on my feed. That's exactly what I do. When I'm doing any sort of brand storytelling as well, that's something very important for me, because if I'm not enjoying that moment, if I'm really not enjoying what I'm doing, it will really not look nice on my feed as well, and I myself will not be happy. So more than just putting up a content, it's about me being happy about what I'm doing at the moment.
Absolutely. And don't you think that to be able to see beauty in such small things and small details, you need to be more aware. You just need to, soak in
Exactly.
everything. You need to observe more. You need to understand more.
And that will only happen if you're not in that constant hustle of doing things or just running behind certain things in life. You just need to enjoy that very moment, be happy with what you already have, and be very grateful to what you already have. I think I also practice a lot of gratitude in my life. I practice being grateful to things I already have, because only when you are grateful to things that you already have, you can always reach out to another goal, or you can chase another goal in life. So that's also something that we all should do, where enjoying the smallest of the things that you already have, rather than cribbing, or rather than always comparing yourself to another person. I
Yeah.
think that's also something which is very important when you're wanting to slow down in your life.
And practicing gratitude, I think you brought out a beautiful point. We need to be thankful for what we have. So, if someone wants to, like you said, I've started practicing gratitude. If someone wants to start that, how do we go on that
you
journey?
need to you need to just count your blessings. It's something that I kind of saw it again and again, which is that 1111. Those are magical numbers, those are angel numbers. I mean, those are, again, getting into a little spiritual discussion here, but then I really don't want to talk about that here. Only thing is, when you think about certain things that you already have in life, and you are very, very happy about it, you are grateful about things you already have, all you need to do is just takes few moments from your day, and talk to yourself. You can talk to yourself, you can do that in front of a mirror. If you're somebody who's into journaling, if you're somebody into writing, write it down. Write down what you really like to do, things that you already have. Be thankful for each and everything. It could be a materialistic thing, it could be people in your life, it could be some joyful moment that you've had in your life. Just be grateful to those smallest of things. And trust me, the universe really does not disappoint any of us who practices gratitude. This is something I learned the hard way. I was somebody, I used to mock at this entire concept. I used to think, no, this is very, bookish, and people are, who are practicing gratitude, people who think, they thank the universe all the time. I never used to think so much about this entire concept, but only when I started reading about it, only when I started practicing gratitude myself, I understood the importance of it. And I cannot, stress enough the importance of practicing gratitude every single day. It could be anything. Just be thankful for your life. The fact that we could all survive 2020, that itself is the biggest reason to be grateful for, is what I can say.
Yeah, the fact that we are here, we can talk to one another,
Absolutely.
food we eat, everything. I think we need to count our blessings.
Yes.
Very, very good point over here.
Thank you.
So, Mona, when you so you're the creative lead for FM, Fever FM, and I was going through your profile and while talking to you, and I was reading about your work and all. So you build you weave beautiful stories about brands where you feel them, you try and understand them. So, tell me something about one of your favorite works that you've done.
Uh, this is something very close to my heart. It is a property called as Band Baja Fever. It is something where we get people married on radio. So it is a concept where, two people, if they are seeing each other, if they are in love, they want to tie their knot. So they can reach out to the radio station, and we would make it possible to create a fairy tale like wedding for them. So what happens is we become a part of their entire journey of marriage, journey of being together. We celebrate their togetherness in so many ways possible. So I think that's a concept which is very, very close to my heart, and we've done 5 seasons of it already. So we are looking forward to another season. Every year we do it, and we take the
Work.
concept to
Curious about this, Mona. How does it work? How do you get people married on radio?
so we ask people to register with the radio station, and then when couples enroll, we talk to them, we audition with them, they come to the radio station, we get to know. And in this entire process, we get to know so many things about these people, their stories, their journeys, how they actually met. It's really, really interesting, because it's also about when you're connecting with a lot of people, right? Again, another way of slowing down is also connecting with other people. When you are
Yeah.
getting to know about them, getting to know about their journey, that's when you actually empathize with them as well, right? So that's also something that really, that's the reason why maybe this concept is very close to my heart, because I get to meet so many different kinds of people, and they tell us their journey about love, how did they exactly end up together and stuff like that. And then we help them arrange for a fairy tale like wedding, where the clothes are brought by a brand who would be sponsoring this entire concept. And so many things we do for them, like a makeover, their outfits, right from their salon, their makeover, everything. We do everything for them.
Very interesting. I
It is.
love
It
it.
is.
Okay.
But more than anything, I think it's also about storytelling for a brand. I think that's something that I really enjoy. And if you are being able to, put together a beautiful story for the brand that you're working for, I think that's more important. Because when you're storytelling, you're actually connecting the brand with the people. When there's no story, people don't connect with anything. So
Yeah.
building a story is more important than anything else.
Absolutely. And so, like, why you don so many hats? I'm sure you have these bad days, right? When you don't know what to
Absolutely, I
do.
do.
So, how do you deal with that?
Everybody does. And I also have like really and these are not bad days, I would call it stressful days, or only when you are being too hard on yourself, you think that you have to do it all. I think it happens to us, even though we are trying and we are striving towards a more slow life, but we are still ending up in that entire rat race. So we are thinking that, okay, there's too many things to do. I end up having stressful days, but that's exactly those days when I become even more grateful for all those things I have. I actually also practice guided meditation and stuff like that. So that really helps me, and that really helps me bring my sanity back. So you need to find what's your sanity. I mean, everybody will have something or the other which will keep them sane. It could be creating something, it could be writing something, it could be, your passion, anything that helps you take that entire stress out from you. So I do that through also through the content that I create.
Yes.
That really helps me.
The kind of content you create and such beautiful stuff that you have around you, I'm sure that acts as a stress buster for you.
It does. It does. It's like, because you want to create something so beautiful and you're not happy with what you've created, you don't need to, have a deadline in mind, because here you can do it the way you want it. It's not like a deadline. It's not a presentation that you're putting together for an important business meeting, right? It's something that you really like doing. So hence you have all the time in the world to slow down, focus on it. If you're not happy with the work, because you set your own benchmark here. There's nobody who's telling you, okay, this is how it needs to be done. It's you yourself. And when you are your own boss, when you decide your own creative limitations or your own creative liberty, it's something which is very, very, I don't know. I think that gives you a different high to work around your creative aesthetics and stuff like that, because there's
Yeah.
nobody who can tell you which is right, what is wrong. It's here how you think. You want to portray a story, you want to weave in a content, you do it that way.
Right. And so this was about a stressful day. So there are days when, you feel like a total failure because, you really failed at something. Happens to all of us. How do you deal with failure?
I think accepting, or you can get into that entire mood of, being okay, it wasn't my fault. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe you try to, probably see the negative side to it. But then it's also important to accept it. If you're somebody who has done something wrong, you need to accept it. You need to face yourself, rather than being answerable to anybody else, maybe at work, maybe people you're working with. But at the end of the day, you need to be happy with what you've done. If you've disappointed yourself, accept it, accept your mistake. So that's something that you need to do, and just go on with life. And every day is a new day. I mean, whatever has happened. You just cannot think about it and stress over it again and again. Just think that tomorrow is a better day, and be hopeful. Things are going to get better when you are positive.
I think that's what even I do, just think about why it happened, what are the learnings from it, then water under the bridge, move on. That's
Absolutely.
about like I think most of us do not have a choice. You have to move on. You can't just get stuck
Absolutely. You can't.
how life is. So I think we're on top of time, Mona. So last question for you is that, from your content background and the background, your brand building background. Um, and the overlap that we have in our personalities with our brand, what recommendations do you have for the August company? How can we make it
I
better?
think you guys are anyway doing great. I mean, the entire concept, your brand ethos, and the kind of ideology that you already have for your brand is so beautiful. I mean, it only when you have such a great ideology, you could inspire your consumers. That's what I believe in. And most of the brands are very confused these days. They really don't, because they are aspiring to be somebody. There are so many of them out there. They want to be somebody else, right? And they want to do better than what the others are doing. I mean, instead of getting into that entire rat race, creating your own values, creating your own set of aesthetics, creating your own, being true to yourself. I think that's more important. And that's exactly what happens to content creators as well. There are so many out there who think that, okay, I need to do something better than the other person. Instead, you need to focus on what you really want to do and do it at the best possible way. Because when you are doing it the best possible way, you are putting forth the best work that you can. And that doesn't matter. You don't subscribe to competition. You don't need to know what's happening out there. All you got to do is focus on your own content. And
You will be able to go and work every single day because you're true to yourself. You know exactly why you're doing it.
Absolutely. And most importantly, it's about storytelling. So if you are storytelling about a brand, your listeners, sorry, I keep talking about listeners because I work at a radio station, but yeah, your consumers, they would relate to you because they are going to connect to your story. And if your story is true, your story is very simple, your story touches their heart, you are going to have these consumers for all your life. So that's the learning that I've had from all of these brands that I've worked with, brands which are like the biggest of the FMCG brands in the country, from the biggest of the automobile brands in the country, the giants of the e-commerce industry who are there based in Bangalore. I've worked with all of them. And the learning that I've had is, when you are storytelling about your brand tagline or your brand positioning is done in a way that listeners can connect or consumer can connect, you've won your battle. And being true to yourself, having your own identity, being rooted, because you're a homegrown brand, you guys already are into that space of sustainable lifestyle, slow living. You're already there. I don't think I am the right person to give you any advice, but then you guys are doing fab. Only thing is just being true to yourself and doing things that you love. That's the only thing that everybody should do. Be a brand. Every person is a brand, actually. So this holds true to everyone out there who's there in this live session or whoever is going to listen to this session later, that you are your own brand. Create your own story.
Yes, absolutely. And do what you really love to do. And we absolutely love you, Mona Lisa. I'm so happy we had this conversation. Thank you for being a
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vidhi, for having me. This was such a meaningful conversation. I think I've had so many live sessions in the past, but this was more about life. It was more about introspection. It was more about, living the slow life and how you like doing it. So it comes straight from the heart. So I enjoyed this live session thoroughly.
Same here. And let's all be thoughtful, mindful of our consumption. Thank you for everyone for joining in. Thank you, Mona Lisa. Lots of love and lots of vibes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vidhi. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. Bye.
Bye.